MindSphere, the cloud-based open IoT operating system from Siemens. And I'd like to bring our experts in the field up on stage right now with the biggest applause of the day since this is the last show. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it one more time. Here is Sebastian Wolf and Matthias Lutz. Give it up. Check it out.
Hi, Chris.
Welcome. How was that, huh?
That was pretty cool. Thank you. What I don't find cool is I'm missing my colleague Matthias. Matthias, are you somewhere here?
Sebastian, sorry. I'm so sorry. Hi.
Matthias.
Hi, good afternoon.
This is now the third time that you delay me. So what was going on?
Sebastian, I never had a Hannover fair like that, regarding MindSphere. I'm engaged in a lot of customer discussions, and they come up always with new things they want to connect. They come up with ideas about apps. And Sebastian, what comes to your mind when thinking about potatoes and digitalization?
No, I ask you, why are you late? Now you're telling me about potatoes.
Yeah, about potatoes. I had a very interesting discussion with members of the German agricultural industry, and they're in potatoes, so potatoes for French fries, stuff like that.
Okay.
And they are heavily thinking about digitizing their potato value chain.
You must be kidding me, huh?
Yeah, that's true, Sebastian, that's true.
Okay, so what has digitalization to do with potatoes?
Yeah, there's a whole value chain included, from harvesting potatoes, processing potatoes in huge plants, quite complex plants, and of course bring the potatoes to other processors like French fry makers, and of course bring it to the customers. So a whole plant which is already partly digitized. For example, the harvesting process with the tractors.
Okay, let me get this right, Matthias, because when I remember Hanover last year, we were here and we presented MindSphere so we can connect drives, motors, machine tools, small things. Now you're talking about whole factories and plants and...
Yeah, so in 1 year, a lot of things can happen. And in the last year, since we have met here in Hanover, in the last April, more than 50% of the worldwide ever generated data was generated. More than 50% since the beginning of mankind. And the most interesting thing is only 0.5% was actually used to provide a value, used to do analytics. So a huge potential which is not used and harvested.
Okay, so 50% of the world's data. So what happened, okay, I get this. 1 year, that's quite a significant amount of data, but what happened just yesterday?
Yesterday and today, over 5.5 million things were connected to the Internet of Things. 5.5 million. I think that's the revolution we are just witnessing here. So each and every device, each and every machine, each and every sensor will be soon connected. And as mentioned, whole potato processing plants.
Okay, so 5.5 million devices a day. How is this even possible?
Digitalization is changing everything. In our private life, apps, connected refrigerators, car-sharing companies, which are emerging more and more due to digitalization. And what I really witness here is MindSphere is changing everything. MindSphere is changing everything for our customers, for you, for process industries, for discrete industries, and more customers really see the value out of an IoT platform.
Okay, what is MindSphere, Matthias?
MindSphere is the open IoT operating system from Siemens for the things that run the world, like potato processing plants.
Okay, what other things? I mean, that run the world, that sounds promising.
Yeah, so yesterday, you remember, I've talked, and that's why I came late yesterday as well, to people who are operating cruise ships. I talked to people from breweries. I talked to people who operate train fleets. I talked to people who operate planes. So each and every device is now to be connected to platforms.
Okay, connection. That's a good remark here. Matthias, connectivity seems utmost important to get the data out of the assets into MindSphere. How does this work?
Everything starts with connectivity. Connectivity into machines, into devices, into sensors. And therefore, we have developed our MindSphere connectivity suite. Here at our booth, you see a lot of hardware devices. For example, our MindConnect Nano, a small box PC filled up with our connectivity technology, and it allows you to connect machines or an entire plant very easily to the Internet of Things.
Okay, so you're telling me that we have a connectivity suite and MindConnect Nano is one of the elements. So what about all other machines? I mean, if a customer is not using Siemens products, so how does this work?
Yeah, besides Siemens products, and maybe just to mention this, here all over the Siemens booth, you see hundreds of automation devices. Siemens has a fleet of automation devices in the field of roughly 30 million automation devices. They are already processing, generating, using data. And a lot of these automation devices will be able to speak to MindSphere already today or in future. But you said, what's about other devices? Non-Siemens devices, all the Siemens devices, whatever. Openness is very important to MindSphere. And that's what we are offering in our IoT operating system. So if you, for example, want to connect a third-party device, we offer you a so-called MindConnect library. I always explain it like a toolbox, you know, a software toolbox, which you can use to integrate into your machine, into your controller, into your sensor, to build up your own easy and secure MindSphere connectivity.
Okay, so let me sum this up. We have connectivity from Siemens. We can integrate this in all devices. We can integrate this into any kind of asset, no matter the brand. That sounds pretty cool to me, Matthias. But tell me about it. So when we have the data out of the asset, then on MindSphere, what happens next?
Capturing data, storing data, processing data is definitely of value. But the value, the real value, comes out of apps, applications, like on your smartphone.
Just one moment. Applications like on my smartphone. So you're telling me now that I will have an application running a brewery?
Of course, or a potato processing plant. So MindSphere offers a lot of Mind apps from Siemens, tiny applications, larger applications for specific industries. And you will see here all over the booth certain Siemens hardware, for example, drivetrains, the filling line, my colleagues talked about it before, and there are specific apps for those applications or for those machines.
Okay, sounds cool, but how does a potato benefit from an application?
So I talked to these guys from the agricultural industry, and they said, okay, they have a huge challenge in their business. If the potatoes are to be harvested, the farmers have only a very limited time frame to bring those potatoes in the processing plant, and therefore uptime is very important for them. So imagine with MindSphere, with applications, you can monitor the entire plant, the drivetrains, the processing part, and you can see when a part is likely to fail. You can order a new part, you can repair it, and you can do some predictive maintenance, which is benefiting the whole food supply chain.
Okay, not bad. So are we going to have a similar, let's say, ecosystem like we know from the smartphone, so a place where I can purchase apps? Is this what you're saying?
You still remember 2007, it was 10 years ago, only 10 years ago, the iPhone came out. There was literally no app in there or no app store. The value really came when this company opened up this ecosystem for others. And that's what we're doing now. Here at our MindSphere booth, you will see a couple of partners like Atos, Accenture, Evosoft, which are currently developing apps for MindSphere. Have you seen our little app store there?
Yeah, I have seen it, and I find it quite impressive what's in there. So, but Matthias, you're just throwing a lot of names here into this round. They are big companies. But what about if someone else wants to develop an application?
It's not only about big IT companies who could develop MindSphere applications. It's about each and everyone. Even you, Sebastian, could start to think about a tiny MindSphere app, you could connect some devices, and you could develop, distribute, and operate an app in MindSphere. So that's why we are opening up MindSphere for app developers with our MindSphere APIs, application programming interfaces, and we are offering to you, end customers, machine builders, application developers, the potential of a very large open IoT operating system for the industry and as well other fleets, as we learned yesterday and the days here at the fair.
Okay, now you're saying that I can develop my own application. I cannot believe it. Is it that simple?
It needs some training, but our partners managed to develop the first apps within days. And you see here more than 50 apps, really specific app for really quite sophisticated applications with analytical capabilities. But there are also, let's say, very small, tiny apps which just give some, let's say, alert on a smartphone. So all this is possible with MindSphere. The possibilities are limitless somehow.
Okay, great. So again, let me sum this up. We have open standards, we have an easy toolkit to develop applications. You said you can also get trained by our partners. That all sums up to a very nice package, yeah, when it comes to MindSphere. I'm convinced, Matthias. So what would you advise our visitors here when it comes to their digital transformation?
Think big. Really think how digitalization can affect your entire supply chain, like in the potato industry I learned today. But start small, start today. Start to connect your machine with MindSphere connectivity, for example, our MindConnect Nano gateway. Start to visualize your fleet of machines, like cruise ships, like filling machines, like potato processing plants. Use our MindSphere apps like the Fleet Manager, which is in there, which allows you a very quick and easy start into digital service, and that's very important for me. It's not about just collecting data, it's about to offer digital services for your machines, for your industry. And finally, when you've started with a couple of apps, I'm sure, and that's what I'm learning here every day, that new ideas also about integrating horizontally and vertically in the supply chain, building apps which, for example, include other process steps like the logistical chain, will come up. And with MindSphere, you have the IoT operating system which you can use to start into your digital transformation.
Okay, sounds really cool. So digitalization is changing everything, MindSphere is changing everything. And if you want to find out how this helps you to transform your business into digital, you can find us at our booth. We have the App Store, the connectivity wall, and as Chris said at the beginning of the presentation, in our MindSphere Lounge, we have a partner network up there and roughly 150 presentations about the whole topic. So see us there, maybe not today because we're closing, but tomorrow we'll be back here on the stage. And with this, thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks, bye-bye.